Right now, entire villages in Assam have been completely swallowed by water. Just days ago, these were functioning neighborhoods. Today, only the highest tin roofs are visible above the waterline. The human cost of this disaster is staggering. So far, the death toll has reached 68, but that number only hints at the true scale. Over 500,000 people, spread across more than 700 villages, have been forced out of their homes. The destruction is heavily concentrated in key districts. Areas like Sivasagar, Charadeo, Galagat, and Jorhat are bearing the absolute brunt of the crisis. This is a massive humanitarian catastrophe unfolding in real time. In a matter of hours, months of hard labor, farming, and savings have been completely erased. Just keeping people alive requires a massive, immediate mobilization. The army and local administrations are navigating these submerged streets block by block, using small boats to physically evacuate stranded families. Specialized disaster response units, like the NDRF and SDRF, are working around the clock. Their primary focus is pulling the most vulnerable demographics, like this infant being carried to safety, out of the rising currents. The response extends beyond the government. Civil society, NGOs, and prominent cultural figures like singer Papan step in, using their platforms to mobilize relief materials, food, and financial aid. But here is the most frustrating part of this entire rescue effort. None of this is a surprise. The floods in Assam are not a rare, unpredictable anomaly. The region is trapped in a brutal, reactive loop. Year after year, the state treats a completely predictable annual monsoon hazard as if it were a sudden emergency. This map shows the massive Brahmaputra River and its network of tributaries. During monsoon season, intense rainfall hits the basin. These waterways swell simultaneously, sending water surging toward the main artery. This converging water places immense pressure on embankments, creating red zones where riverbanks struggle. When that pressure reaches a breaking point, the barriers fail. The river forcefully reclaims its natural floodplains, violently submerging absolutely everything in its path. Geography creates the hazard, and the monsoon provides the volume. But once that water breaches the physical bank, it ceases to be a river and becomes a destructive force occupying the landscape. The rising water is only the first wave of destruction. What follows is a cascading collapse of the state's physical infrastructure, starting right here with the transportation grid. As you can see from above, entire road networks are cleanly severed. Vital paved roads are physically sheared apart and washed away by the current, instantly cutting off entire communities from escape routes or incoming aid. And this triggers an immediate socioeconomic paralysis. Power grids fail, cell networks drop, schools shut down. And for farmers, fields like this one spend days underwater, completely wiping out the season's entire crop yield. The rising water effectively unplugs the state's entire economic and social ecosystem, leaving millions of people instantly jobless and isolated. The hardest part doesn't happen when the water is high. The true grueling challenge begins only after the floodwaters finally recede. When families return from crowded relief camps, they are forced to rebuild from absolute zero. They return to structurally ruined homes, livestock that have drowned, and fields completely covered in silt. For daily wage earners and local farmers, the psychological and economic toll is devastating. They watch months of physical labor vanish in a single afternoon, year after year. The physical danger of the water eventually ends, but it is immediately replaced by a year-long struggle to reclaim a livelihood. Relying strictly on emergency boats and temporary relief camps is a failed, unsustainable strategy. Experts agree that Assam's future depends on breaking this cycle entirely. The first step is scientific river dredging. As this cross-section shows, physically removing accumulated sediment deepens the riverbed. This drastically increases the Brahmaputra's capacity to carry excess monsoon waters safely below the floodline. The second step is permanent engineering. Earthen walls aren't enough. The region needs modern, structurally reinforced concrete embankments, like this one, that can actually withstand the extreme pressure of the annual surge. Finally, the state needs proactive, modern early warning systems. The technology exists to accurately predict these surges and move populations safely before a single drop of water reaches their doors. The monsoon will always come to Assam, but until the strategy shifts from frantically reacting to the water to actively engineering these preventative solutions, millions of people will remain trapped in this devastating, predictable loop.